Hey, welcome back to HostiFi. My name's Alex, and today we're looking at the new port profiles within UniFi 7.4.156. This version of UniFi was released a few weeks ago, and the way you handle VLANs has completely changed. So we're going to look at how to set up port profiles and see what the process has changed to. So I'm going to go to my UniFi switch, which is on this UniFi controller. And the first thing, we'll go to the port manager. And then we'll go to port 1 and have a look what has changed. So first thing you can see is you've got the primary network and you've got the traffic restriction options. You've also got, under manual, you've got Ethernet port profiles. So I'll have a look at Ethernet port profiles in a second. First thing we're going to do is look at the traffic restrictions and this primary network setting. So by default in UniFi, every single port on a switch is going to be tagging every VLAN you've got on the network, and then the primary network is going to be untagged. That's going to be the default behavior for any switch port now in UniFi. In this setup here, I've got my default network, which is essentially VLAN 1, untagged, and then everything else is tagged. If you want to change port settings on the fly, you can go to traffic restrictions, and then you can choose to block or allow certain VLANs. The naming on this is a bit strange. If you're used to VLANs, this is a bit alien to what we're used to. So on this port 1, what I want to do is untag VLAN 1, the default network, and I want to only tag one of my VLANs. So the way you do that is go to allow, and you can see you've got all the VLANs on the network tagged. So I'm going to delete all of these, and I just want to tag VLAN 3. In this setup here, primary network VLAN 1 would be untagged, and then the traffic restriction would be tagging VLAN 3. And then if you want to just untag the VLAN 1, you just go back to block, and you can block all the VLANs. So all that's doing is untagging VLAN 1. If you want to set some presets for UniFi, you can go to manual, and then across to Ethernet port profile, and this is very much how it used to be. So you can set up new port profiles, sort of port presets. So what you can do is go to create new, it'll take you to the settings page, and you can set up a port profile. So for example, if I just want all my UniFi access points to have VLAN 1 untagged for management and then VLAN 3 tagged for my guest network, what I can do is set up one called UniFi AP. The ports can be active, primary network will be default, and then we can go to traffic restriction, again the same sort of setup process, and we can just say allow VLAN 3. So VLAN 3, period is going to be auto, manual, nothing else in there needs to be set. You can apply changes, and then if you go to devices again, port manager, and then back to port 1, we can set this port profile as UniFi AP, and what that's going to do is untag VLAN 1 and then tag VLAN 3. The new port settings and the port profile settings within UniFi 7.4 is part of quite a few changes that Ubiquiti have made. There's also changes to traffic routes, and there's a new open VPN server for the UXG and UniFi OS consoles. That's been a quick look at the new port profiles and the traffic restrictions within UniFi 7.4. If you want to learn more about what HostiFi does, have a look at HostiFi.com. We do UniFi hosting, UISP hosting, and Armada hosting. You can contact our team at support@HostiFi.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at HostiFi_net. Thank you for watching this video. My name's Alex, and we'll see you again next time.